Welcome to Jasper High School. Tonight, the Jasper Wildcats are home again against the Southridge Raiders. The Wildcats with a 5-5 record, and the Raiders come in with a 6-5 record. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider, along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And well, I guess it's third time is a charm for this ball game. Actually, Jasper and Southridge were set to kind of open up the season against each other, but that game got pushed back, I believe, because of the football season that Southridge had, and then we had a weather situation when it was pushed back into December when we had that sub-freezing weather that hit us for a few days there. But now we're finally playing it on a Tuesday night. Here it is, January 10th, and the county rivals, Jasper and Southridge, are ready to go. So kind of a homecoming for Tim LaGrange. He coached for the Wildcats for a number of years from 1998 to 2007, and he has taken over to coach this Southridge basketball team to a 6-5 record. Was 125 and 103 in his time here at Jasper with 2 sectionals and a regional title. But you know, he's taken on, of course, John Gable, who is in his 16th year at the school, 21 years overall. And we all know about the success that he's had here as well as at Mater Dei. And he's actually closing in on that 300 career mark. He's got 296. But, again, Jasper Southridge tonight, Jason, so it's always a big one.
It is. You know, obviously, you know, kind of like what we talked about at Vincennes, you throw out the records. It means nothing when county rivals get together. You know, you can always expect a dogfight no matter how the teams are doing. So we'll see how it goes tonight. You know, there's a couple keys that I think that we need to do tonight to come out ahead. I think we got to, obviously, I think one of the big things is we got to dominate inside in the paint. They don't have a lot of size. I think our big guys ought to be able to have their way in there with rebounding, scoring, and all that. I think another thing is we need to put a little bit of defensive pressure on them. We did a pretty good job the other night against Evansville North with that. And the last thing is they've got 3 guys that they look to do most of their scoring with Thule, Ublar, and Whitehead. So, you know, we got to get up in those guys and make them work hard for their points and see what the rest of them can do.
Well, the Wildcats actually are a little change in the starting lineup tonight. It's going to be Carter Moondy, Grant Young, Charlie Cabrick, Will Wallace, and Griffin Heil getting the start tonight. Cameron Howard's not in the lineup. We don't have any more information on that, but he is actually not with the team tonight. But we're taking on a Southridge team that's actually riding a 4-game winning streak right now. They played in their own tournament where they went 2-3 and with wins over Eastern Green and Danville, but then regular season wins with Tecumseh and knocking off Northeast DuBois Saturday night with a 66-57 win there. And, of course, the Wildcats are coming off their 60-46 win against Evansville North to kind of close out their 4-game stretch of conference games. But, again, it's a county rivalry tonight, and the student sections are all fired up here. So Jasper actually wins the tip here, and Southridge, they start Colin Thule, number 2. Whitehead is number 3. Mick Ubelor is number 4. Number 5 is Noah Wright, and Miles Kirchhoff wears number 23 as Grant Young sets up for a 3-point shot. Doesn't go, and coming down with a rebound are the Raiders coming our way. Kirchhoff drives there. Kiss off the glass, doesn't go. And again, the Wildcats with a 60-point effort the other night. Would like to see that kind of same type of output tonight offensively.
That was a good job by Griffin there. He caught the ball, and usually on the when you catch it on the low post like that, look opposite, and that's what he did. Grant Young didn't feel like he had a shot. Just kept the offense moving. There's a bad pass, but
yeah, Mooney was looking for Cabrick there, who was actually starting to step towards the basket. So a turnover on the Wildcats. Neither team scored. We played about a minute of the first quarter. Of course, the Raiders in the Pocket Athletic Conference with a 2-1 record right now. That conference is led by Boonville, who is 4-0. Ball gets knocked away here. Here comes Carter Mooney on a break. Gets it over to Cabrick, and he will walk with the basketball. So turnovers for the Wildcats and Raiders to start this basketball game. 6:44 on the clock. Neither team has scored.
You expect that sometimes, in a game like this. There's a lot of emotions and things. Until you can get settled down and get into the flow of the game, you just have to weather the storm.
Tully gets it over to Ubalor. Ubalor being guarded by Will Wallace, but he backs off there. Now he gives it up to number 3, and that's Whitehead. He will drive, spin, feed it over to Tully there. Kirchhoff's going to launch a 3, and he drills it. So first points of the ball game is a 3-pointer by Miles Kirchhoff. Southridge leads 3-0.
Now, that's all right if we learn from that. The other night we kept letting the kid from Vincennes have that opportunity to shoot. We left him open there. He hit it. So now the next time we need to take a step closer to him.
Right. They're trying to feed down to the post, but no one was there. An easy steal for Kirchhoff. Now he loses the handle, and it's going to go off of Grant Young, so Southridge will hang on to it. .534 on the clock here. Southridge with an early 3-0 lead. Kirchhoff takes the inbounds there. He's being guarded by Heil.
Stay on your feet, Grant.
Baseline jumper doesn't fall for Whitehead, so Jasper gets the board. Here comes Carter Moondy with it. And trying to feed down low into Griffin Heil, but ball gets knocked away. So again, the Cats still looking for their first points of this basketball game.
Looks like, I talked about getting the ball inside. Looks like that was a point of emphasis to the Wildcats. Right now, it just looks like we're forcing it. You just got to let it come in the flow of the game.
So we're 3 minutes into this basketball game. 3-0 Southridge as Kirchhoff gives it up. Mick Ubalor being guarded by Wallace there.
Southridge kind of plays a 4-out, 5-out type of offense, and what that's going to cause, it's going to cause Wallace and Heil to guard more out on the perimeter than basically what they're used to guarding at the low post.
Right. Tries to work off a screen. Now there's a good job there by Wallace to get his hands on that basketball, so he ties up Tully, and Southridge will hang on to possession as Nabla comes in for the first time. Now here comes Giesler. So Cats going to their bench early. Southridge still with their same starting 5 of Tully, Whitehead, Ubalor, Wright, and Kirchhoff on the floor. Pull-up jumper, a little bit short there, and rolls out, and Heil's able to get the rebound.
That was good defense by Giesler. He got his hand up in the shooter's face.
So Nabla had an outstanding shooting night a couple nights ago with a 3-point shot. Now Moondy feeds it over to Grant Young. He's going to launch a 3, a little bit long on that one. Southridge gets the board, and it's going to be a foul on Grant Young. So that is the first personal foul whistled in this basketball game. It's going to go against Grant. Kirchhoff brings it across here. 3:43 on the clock. Southridge with a 3-0 lead. I was going to say it's kind of reminiscent of the old Southridge sectional days where low scoring and every possession counts. Giesler attacks, now gives it up. Leaves Noblet wide open, and he's deadly from there. So finally the Wildcats are able to get on the board with a Noblet 3.
Young did a nice job there. He had the opportunity to take that shot, but he knew one extra pass was going to get Noblet a better look, and that's what he did.
3:07 on the clock. We're locked at 3 right now. Jasper Wildcats against the Southridge Raiders tonight. Just really wish this game were on a Friday or Saturday and a little bit more promoted, but you got to get the game in. There's a three-point shot, and Kirchhoff hits his second one. So 6 points for Miles. Southridge with a 6-3 lead with 2:39 to go here in the first. Grant stops at the free throw line, gives up, gets it back now. Noblet gets it down in the post. Good job by Gieser, high off the glass and gets it in.
Not sure how he made that, but
we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Yeah, Gieser actually had 8 points off the bench the other night. He's got 2 so far tonight, 5-6. Jasper's trailing.
Braden's able to score a lot just because of his athleticism, and that was one right there.
Ball gets knocked away there by Grant Young. Now Cats got a break, left side. And Mooney gets blocked right there at the basket, but they're actually going to call a foul here.
I think they're calling it got him with his body.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it will be 2 free throws coming to the Wildcats senior. It's been outstanding all season long from the free throw line, of course. And he pops the first. So Mooney coming off a 16-point night, kind of getting back on track, hitting a couple three-pointers in that game against North.
Wallace came back in for Heil now, and Cabrick's set to check in for Mundy.
All right, so Cabrick's in. And the Raiders have yet to go to their bench yet. So the Wildcats on the floor with Cabrick, Young, Giesler, Wallace, and Noblet, number 31. Cabrick knocks that one away. Cats with a 1-point lead, 7-6 with 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. There's a knock away by Noblet, so he's going to go the other way, and he gets it knocked out of his hands, and they're going to say it went off Noblet last.
Ooh.
So Southridge will have it. Wildcat fans not happy about that, but Raiders will bring it up. So Noah Wright hands off to Tooley. Kirchhoff, he's already got a couple three-pointers, now drives and he gives it right up to Tooley. You can't get the shot to go. Here comes Jasper the other way. Minute 17 on the clock. Jasper with a 1-point lead, 7-6. So a lower scoring game than what we saw the other night. The Cats were able to put 60 on the board against North. Feed down low. Gieser has to save it. Noblet's left alone. And he can't get this one to go, but good job by Gieser to come up with a rebound. Cats working the perimeter as Young gives it up to Gieser for a jump shot there, and he knocks it down. So Gieser's starting to show a lot more offensive savvy. He's got 4 points tonight.
He's definitely got the confidence to get the catch and shoot.
Kirchhoff drives with 25 seconds on the clock, but can't get it to go. Kicks it back out for a three-point shot, and that is drilled right on the money by Mick Ubelor. Southridge has scored 9 points, all from three-point range. Ties this basketball game, and Jasper's got a last shot here coming up with 8 seconds to go. Feeding to the post. Wallace, shot fake, and he's going to go to the line to shoot two.
Will did a good job that time. He caught it, got himself under control, and then went up strong and got hammered with it.
So second personal foul whistled on the Raiders. First one called, actually, it said it was on number 2, Colin Tooley. And Wallace drills that one. That one's in and out. So the Raiders have a chance. No, actually, Jasper with the steal there. And Grant had a good look, but just could not get it to fall off the glass. Jasper, 10. Southridge, 9 after 1 here on 18 WJTS. All right, we had one tie up in the first quarter, so the Cats will get it back to start the second quarter. 1 point lead, 10-9. Craig Schneider, Jason Stamm, Jeremy Marcos bringing you the action of Jasper against Southridge. Southridge still with their starting 5 on the floor. They've yet to substitute tonight. Cabrick was cut off nicely there by Wright, so he has to back up. Feed down into Griffin Heil, and they're actually going to call a foul down low in the block, and that's actually going to go on number 4, Mick Ubalor. So his first personal foul, 3rd on the Raiders. Cats will set up an inbound play. We got another whistle. And this is going against the Wildcats.
I think they're going to get Noblet for pushing off as he was trying to come around a screen. I didn't see it, but.
So first foul whistled on Andrew. Wright picks up his dribble, gives it up. Kirkhoff will drive against Heil, and he loses the handle. Good job there by Cabrick to disrupt that play. Jasper with a 1 point lead. Mundi sees an opening. Can't get the shot to go. Kirkhoff comes down. Here come the Raiders. Wright gives it up. Tully in the corner. Now Kirkhoff. Kirkhoff, a good-sized player, but also very active, both on the wing and down low tonight. He's popped 2 3-pointers.
Yeah, he's kind of a handful for Griffin to try to guard, just like you said, because he doesn't stay on the block and try to post.
Yeah. Tully gives it up to Ubalor. Now down low to Kirkhoff, so he is in the block, and he makes a move. Good job by Griffin to take advantage of his size, just knocks that ball away. Still 1 point lead for the Cats, 10-9 with 6:19 to go here in the second quarter, and now we got some chicken fighting down. Well, actually, it's right there. Yeah, he's not real happy about it.
He's trying to guard Griffin on the low post block, and that, I'm telling you, that's a handful.
I know it is.
And Griff's getting better at it too. I mean, he's learning how to use his body on that low post, and it's a big body.
Griffin's put together some nice scoring outputs recently. 9 points the other night off the bench. He's getting a start tonight.
Southridge is as soon as that ball goes into the low post, they're double teaming right away. And all Jasper has to do is fake that ball to the low post, and that guy on the backside is going to be wide open because Wallace was open there. And I'm sure that's an adjustment that Jasper will look to make it probably at halftime. So he's got 2 guys on him now,
yeah.
Right there.
There's the wide open
That's
look
open.
for Noblet,
That's
and
open
he
all
makes
night.
him pay.
But you've got to be able to hit that shot. And the thing, too, is you don't have to settle for the three-point shot all the time. You can catch it and go to the basket because the defender's going to come flying out at you thinking you're going to shoot it.
Yeah. 13-9, Jasper with a 4-point lead. 5:20 to go here in the second quarter. It's a drive and then actually loses the handle there as Whitehead. Cats are going to go the other way. Now Noblet can't get the shot to go, but a good follow there by Griffin Heil.
That's a great job by the big boy, to get out there and run the floor in transition. It'd be easy to stop at half court and think we're going to get a layup out of the deal, but he didn't.
Kirkhoff, wide open look there for Tully, and he makes him pay. So again, Southridge, all their points coming beyond the arc. 15-12 is our score. And we saw that Friday night where Vincennes hit a number of 3-point shots. I think they hit about 9 in that one. So Cats have got to guard the perimeter a little bit better than they have. All right, so actually Tim LaGrange wants the timeout. John Gable will gather his troops, and we'll take a break. Jasper 15, Raiders 12 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Raiders with the timeout to save the possession there. 15-12, Jasper with the 3-point lead. 4:26 on the clock here as Southridge still with their starting five of Tooley, Whitehead, Ubelor, Wright, and Kirchhoff on the floor. Right now, Ubelor's got it. Picked up by Giesler. There's a drive and pull-up jumper on the way. Doesn't go. Griffin comes down with the rebound.
Get down there and get it to the post.
Griffin's wide open there.
Backside. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And too late now.
Yeah.
Griffin takes advantage and shot up and in.
That right there was exactly what I'm saying, is because Griffin's guy leaves to go double team, and if that guy that catches the ball has the ability to square up to the basket and make that pass.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be a foul on the Wildcats here, and Will Wallace is going to check back in for the Cats. So that's going to be called on Heil. It's just his first. Foul situation, 3 on the Wildcats, 4 on the Raiders, 3:49 to go here in the first half. 5-point lead for the Wildcats, 17-12.
Ooh.
Picking up his dribble is Ubelor, and he gives it up to Kirchhoff. Wallace now has that assignment. Hands it to Wright. Tries to get to the lane, not there. Good defense by the Wildcats here. 3:23 on the clock. There's a set of screen there. There's a switch. Now he's going to go baseline. That's Whitehead. And
stepped out of bounds.
So good job by the Wildcats. Not giving Southridge any open looks or any opportunities in the lane and force a turnover.
That was a very good defensive sequence right there.
Right.
Made a couple nice switches when we needed to, switch back. Real nice.
So Cabrick, 13 points the other night, hasn't had many looks tonight. Feet down low. Wallace, strong move, up and in. 3 points for Will now. Cats have extended to a 7-point lead, 19-12 with 2:45.
Yeah, good defensive stance here again. We're doing a very good job of when they do that dribble handoff of hedging that screen. The guy that's got the ball, his guy's jumping out and slowing him down.
Well, there's an opening on the back door, but doesn't go for Tooley, and Wallace is able to muscle that ball back. Now he's going to attack the lane, little move around his man, and they're going to call a blocking foul. So Wallace looked to barrel right down the lane, but then a little shifty move to his left, and he draws the foul. We'll go to line to, actually you're going to.
Wally tried to do that Euro step, but it just doesn't look quite the same when it come out of him.
Hey, as long as he didn't commit the foul, though.
He didn't, and he didn't travel, so that was a good thing.
2:11 on the clock. Jasper 19, Southridge 12. Wallace can't get that one in on the inbound. Battle on the floor.
Get on the floor. Get on the floor.
He comes up with it. Oh, it's still down there. So the Raiders come up with it quickly the other way, and that's Wright. Gives it up. Now feed down low to Ubelor. Now it gets knocked away there by Cabrick, so Southridge will hang on to the basketball. So the action picked up there. Minute 51 to go here in the second period. Just before halftime, Jasper with the 7-point lead. Raiders kind of in an awkward inbound spot there, but they feed it nicely down low, and then it gets to the corner, but not able to hit the shot as Whitehead.
Get it to Giesler.
Nah, but he's hit two. Ooh, that one's in and out. Kirchhoff comes down with the board.
We missed Giesler. Giesler was wide open on the low block that time.
Kirchhoff open for three, in and out. Battle for the rebound, comes down to the Raiders. Shot is up, off the glass. He had to switch to his left hand, was Tooley, and he was able to get that off the glass and in for a bucket. So that foul's going to go on Giesler, and it'll be a one-shot opportunity here for Tooley.
Heil come back in for Giesler. Mundy's in for Cabrick.
First substitution for the Raiders is number 11, Gage Werner.
That was that Southridge's first 2-point basket?
I believe so. Yes, sir. But it's a three-point opportunity, so he's going to get the old-fashioned opportunity here. Long on the free throw. 19-14, Jasper with a 5-point lead. Minute 20 to go here in the first half. Griffin hangs on to it. Will looks to get to the lane. A little high on the pass. Good job. Great hands there by Grant Young to save it. Now he's looking for help. Moondy at the top of the key. Wasn't there, and he drives. Stops and pops and puts it in. First bucket for Moondy tonight. He's got 4. 21-14. 7-point lead for the Cats with 43 seconds.
I like to see that, Craig, because he didn't settle for the three-point basket or shot. You know, he shot faked and went to the basket and got a lot easier, higher percentage shot.
Yeah, plus he's an outstanding jump shooter in those stop and pops. Does it quite a bit on the baseline, but that time in the lane. Now the Cats come up with the steal. Noblet, good job there, both on the steal and then the quick feed down into Noblet for 2. 9-point lead for the Cats, 23-14, 7 seconds to go. Here come the Raiders. Gives it up. Whitehead's going to have to force a shot up here. And they actually call the foul, so Wallace is going to pick up that personal, and that's going to put Whitehead to the line.
You know, there wasn't much Wally did wrong there. He was there with his hands straight up. The shooter's momentum kind of carried him into his body, but.
All right, so that's the first personal foul called on Will Wallace.
And they got to put some time back on the clock.
Now they're going to actually say the time went out, so at the line all by himself is Whitehead, unless they do put some time on.
Well, I would think you'd have to, or the quarter to be over. There has to be something on there.
Oh, it's 3 seconds.
That's too much.
That's way too much.
I'm thinking like point something. There it is,
yeah,
point
okay,
3.
Point 3.
That's better.
All right. So 2 shots are coming for the Raiders. Whitehead's first trip there, and he is short on the free throw. So they've shot 2 free throws tonight. Neither one have gone in.
And why Southridge doesn't put somebody in the lane to try to tip on a miss, I don't understand, other than they don't want to commit a foul. But
right.
I mean, Jasper can't really shoot the ball on a miss.
So he misses the foul shot, and that is the quarter. So going into halftime, Jasper with a 9-point lead, 23-14. So the Raiders were popping some threes early in the ball game, and then Cats defense just picked up, and I think it was a little too tough for the Raiders to get many good looks in that second quarter, Jason.
Yeah, I'm very happy and pleased with the defensive effort that Jasper's put forth so far tonight. You know, they've held Southridge to 14 points, 1 2-point basket. The rest have been threes. And a couple of them have been contested, semi-contested anyways. So overall, I think it's, you know, defensive-wise, it's been pretty good. Turnovers, I had us for 5 turnovers in the first quarter and only 1 in the second.
That's better.
So that was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Southridge for 4 in the first quarter and 5 in the second. So that's 9, and that kind of, the scoreboard kind of dictates that, you know. So I think, but some of those 9 that Southridge has is because of our aggressive defense.
Sure.
You know, a lot of teams they're not used to the physicality that we play defense with. So when we play other teams, you know, it throws them off rhythm a little bit when we want to play that defense.
Right.
We don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the things the coaching staff's after them, to play like this all the time.
Sure.
So overall, yeah, I think it's a pretty good first half.
All right, I think this is going to be a little blood battle there during halftime. I think it's Jasper students against Southridge students. So we're going to have to take the break, but I'm going to stick around and watch a little bit of this. So, all right, so the Wildcats lead by 9 here at halftime, 23-14 over the Raiders on 18 WJTS. We're at halftime here. The Jasper Wildcats with a 23-14 lead over the Southridge Raiders. Quick rundown of the scoring here for the Raiders. Miles Kirchhoff leads them with 6 points, 2 3-pointers in the first quarter, 5 points for Colin Tooley, and a three-pointer hit in the first quarter by Mick Ubelor. For the Wildcats, they are actually led by Andrew Noblet off the bench with 8 points. 4 points for Braden Giesler, Griffin Heil, also 4 for Carter Mundi, and 3 points for Will Wallace. So the Wildcats led 10-9 after one, and at halftime they lead 23-14, outscoring the Raiders 13-5 in that second quarter. I think the keys for the Wildcats, keep playing the defense you're playing, only giving up 5 points in that quarter, Jason. And for the Raiders, they just need to find a little bit more offense.
Yeah, I think you pretty well hit it right on the head. Hopefully from Jasper's standpoint, they'll keep playing the defense that they did the first half. Like I said, I would have thought the coaches would have been pleased with it at halftime, because they're not letting Southridge dictate what they want to do on offense.
Right. Well, they'll have the ball to start here in the second half. So Stamm starting lineup for the Raiders on the floor. Tooley, Whitehead, Ubelor, Wright, and Kirchhoff, as Whitehead will launch a long three-point shot. Doesn't go, and Cabrick comes down with the board for the Wildcats. They also start their same 5. Cabrick feeds down low into Will Wallace, and he gives up over to Griffin Heil. Good shot fake to get that shot up and in.
See, right there was what I was talking about. The ball went into to Wallace there, and he turned and looked, and Heil was wide open on the other side.
So good start for the Wildcats, getting that lead up to 11 now, 25-14 as the Raiders get into their offense. Kirchhoff attacks the lane, has to give it up. Ball's in the corner to Ubelor. Wright being guarded there by Mundi. Tooley in the lane, gives it up. So Cats just really keeping Southridge out of the paint all night tonight.
Yeah, and the offense they run, they don't run a lot to look for anything in the paint. But we've done a pretty good job of closing out on the shooters.
Good offensive rebound to keep the possession for Mick Ubelor. Heil guarding Tooley. Now there's a nice feed on that backdoor play, and actually he's going to put him to the line there. So Kirchhoff saw cutting to the basket there. Tate Whitehead wasn't able to hit the shot, but he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, Grant was out trying to deny the basketball for the pass on the wing, and was doing a good job of that. But you got to be able to turn your head and your body and keep the backdoor pass going through.
So the foul shot there by Whitehead is good. Jasper 25, Southridge 15. Second foul shot is good. So the first 2 free throws for the Raiders tonight come here in the third quarter. They were 0 for 3 in the first half, make it a 9-point ball game as Grant Young is being picked up there by Wright. Cross court over to Cabrick. Not seeing any zone tonight by either of these teams, both strictly man-to-man. Grant a little too deep there under the basket, but a nice cut there by Mundi, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, it was.
So no basket.
That would have been a nice one there to see what Mundi normally does is takes that dribble and pulls up and shoots that little floating shot right there, about 5-6 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
But he took that extra dribble, and his momentum carried him right into the defender.
Second foul whistled on the Wildcats here in the second half. Raiders. They need to pick up a little bit more offense than what we've seen so far in the basketball game. There's a drive there, and actually it's going to be another foul whistled on the Wildcats, so that's a third team foul. So Giesler's checking in. Griffin Heil's going to sit down. So the inbounds comes into Tooley, and he gives it up. Now Kirchhoff with it as he drives baseline, and a good block here by Will Wallace, but he stepped out of bounds, so Cats aren't able to get the ball back there, so Southridge will hang on to it. 23-16 with 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. Raiders looking for their first field goal. There's a backdoor play, but cannot handle the pass there as Whitehead. It goes off him, and Jasper will get the basketball back. Cats have only had one field goal themselves here in this third quarter, and that was a Griffin Heil bucket. We had a slow start to the ball game and kind of a slow start to the second half here with 5:12 on the clock. Both teams have scored 2 points so far here in the third. Young feeds it over to Cabrick. He'll drive. Shot up, gets knocked away. Good block there by Kirchhoff. He's going to come the other way. He gets to the lane. A little teardrop shot doesn't go. Cats come down with the board. Cabrick cut off there by Wright. Grant Young now gets it down to the wall. A shot fake up and in. So the Cats, really when they get it down to the blocks, they've done a really good job with that shot fake to get those good opportunities to score down there, Jason.
There's no doubt. You know, Wally caught the ball. He shot fake, got the guys in the air, and then went up into them and has a chance for the old-fashioned three.
You know, again, that's a size difference that we have with both Heil and also Wallace tonight. You know, and again, just both of them showing really good control with their shots too. And Wallace doing a nice job at the free throw line. He's 2 for 3 tonight. 28-16, Jasper with a 12-point lead, 4:33 on the clock here. In a Tuesday night county rivalry matchup. Back into the ball game for the Raiders is Werner. Noblet forces Tooley to go to the glass, but he can't get it in, get the shot in. So here come the Wildcats the other way with a 12-point lead. Mundy, there's the contact, and that's going to be a blocking foul called on Whitehead. So second foul whistled on the Raiders here in the second half. First one on Whitehead tonight. Gieser takes the inbounds. Good screen set there by Wallace. Now he gives it, and Cats are into their offense here as Gieser's got it in the blocks. Now he gets it out to Grant Young for a three-point shot, and he drills it.
Again, they're double teaming that every time our low post guy catches the ball. That guy's job isn't going to be to score when that happens. I mean, they're trying to take that shot away, but they're leaving 2 or 3 other guys wide open, and that's what we have to take advantage of.
Right. So Jasper with a 31-16 lead over the Raiders. We'll take a break here with 3:29 to go here in the third here on 18 WJTS. Southridge with the basketball after the timeout there. Trailing the Wildcats 31-16. Gieser on Ubelor in the corner. Now he does something with it and gives it up. Werner now has it. There's Tooley now back over, and Tooley gets it back. Three-point shot on the way, short. But the rebound comes down to Wright. Feeds in the corner over there to Whitehead. Grant Young on him, stays with him as he goes to the lane. Feed. Three-point shot can't go for Tooley, and the Cats come down with the rebound. So Southridge struggling a little bit with their shot here.
It's a good job by Cabrick. There's some games he'll let that one fly, and it's not necessarily what you want. He did a very good job that time of not doing it.
Cabrick has it, and Wright's on him.
Oh.
Good knock away, but it's right back into the hands of Grant Young. Feeds into Heil. Heil lowers his shoulder, and he will be called for that offensive foul. John Gable didn't like the call over here.
I didn't think it was that bad a call. I mean, it did look like he lowered his shoulder. Now, whether the defensive guy was actually set or not, I don't know. But
yeah,
he did lower his shoulder.
Yeah. All right, so 4 fouls on the Wildcats, second one on Heil. Cats still with a 15-point lead. Kirchhoff.
Traveled.
Yeah, he shuffled his feet there, but no call. Or dragged his foot, at least.
Yeah.
Kirchhoff. Another teardrop shot there, and this time it goes. Kirchhoff with 8 points. First field goal for the Raiders with 2 minutes to go here in the quarter, and Caber can't handle that pass.
That's one of those, it's just lackadaisical, you know. Catch the ball first, and if your shot's there, then shoot it. If not, run your offense.
Yep. 13-point lead for the Wildcats, 31-18 with a minute 52. Kirchhoff against Heil. Pulls up the free throw line, can't get that one to go, so Gavin comes down with the rebound.
That was a good defense. I mean, it forced him into a shot that he wasn't comfortable shooting.
Right, all over Young as he gives it up. Knoblich looking for the low post, but not there, and it gets knocked away. Cats hang on to it.
It was the right idea, but a ball fake, pass fake would have done wonders right there.
Cabrick gets it back on the wing. Minute 12. But now he gets down into Heil. Heil with a nice little step back, but can't get it off the glass. Naba with a three-point shot. And he has shown lately that, again, that's pretty well automatic if he's open like that.
We'll give that credit on that possession to Giesler, though, hustling after the offensive rebound.
There's no question, but actually commits the foul there as Wright attacked the basket. So 48 seconds on the clock. Jasper with a 34-18 lead over the Southridge Raiders. And fouls picking up on the Wildcats. It's the fifth. Second one on Giesler tonight. So foul shot is good. So first point of the night for Noah Wright. Raiders have hit all 3 of their free throws here in this quarter. So Wright looks good on both. Lead is 14 for the Cats as they attack with 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Good pressure defense there by Wright against Cabrick. Mooney now has it. Tooley all over him, and coming over to steal on the help there is Wright, and this is going to be a foul on the Wildcats. So no, he gets in. It's a 14-point game right now, but those fouls keep picking up for the Wildcats. It's a 6, and the Raiders able to hit some free throws. Might make it interesting in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the bottom line is we got to take better care of the basketball on the offensive end.
There's a good inbound and a three-point opportunity. So another foul whistled on the Wildcats as Mick Ubelor was able to get that shot up and absorb that contact for a three-point opportunity. So 34-22 now. So Werner comes in for the Raiders. Young's in for the Wildcats. And the foul shot is good. So 5 for 5 in the quarter for the Raiders. Mick Ubelor's got 6. And Cats' lead has been trimmed to 11. (13 seconds). Good job by Griffin to get in that spot, but can't get the shot to go. Battle for the rebound. Caber can't get it to go. Raiders have it with 5 seconds.
I would like to see Caber bring the rebound down.
Good job there by Cabrick to kind of hang in the air a little bit there and block that three-point shot. So, all right, Jasper will go into the fourth quarter with an 11-point lead, 34-23 over the Raiders here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Wildcats come onto the floor as Wallace inbounds to Grant Young. Mooney on the floor, Heil on the floor, Cabrick. Raiders with 4 of their 5 starters. Werner still in the ball game for them.
Yeah, I think Kirchhoff's sitting. He's got 3 fouls, so I'd look for him to come back here before too long.
So the Raiders staying in a man-to-man.
I would try to take advantage of Heil. Heil's got quite a bit of size advantage on Werner.
I know. Needs to get down to the post and battle a little bit more.
Get the ball to the wing, so you got a passing angle to get it in there.
Heil with a baseline jumper, and he gets it to roll in. Hung on the rim a little bit there.
That was a good job of offense by Jasper. It took almost a minute off the clock. You know, you got a 11-point lead going starting the quarter. Just take your time, get a good shot, and they did.
36-23 is now the score. Hand off to Whitehead. He's going to launch a three-point shot. Goes off the glass, doesn't go. And going to the floor there is Will Wallace. And this will be a personal foul on number 5, Noah Wright.
That three-point shot looked like one of them from the halftime display.
Yeah. Are you talking about the student body battle or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There was some pretty wild shots in there that didn't hit anything but the backboard.
Could have been some vandalism with all the bricks thrown at the.
That's exactly right.
Cats with the basketball, 13-point lead, 6.5.
Get it in there to him.
Wallace.
There you go.
Feed, wide open shot there by Kabrick, but can't get it to go.
It's all right, though. That's a pretty good shot. I mean, he relocated. He spotted up. He was ready to shoot when he caught it. You just ain't going to hit them all.
Right. Ubelor with it. He'll drive. And good job there by Wallace to keep his hand up. No contact.
Here's where we just need to be smart. If it's there, fine. If not, fine.
So Noah Wright's going to pick up his personal foul. All right, so Tim LaGrange gets number 23 back in the ball game. Kirchhoff, so the Raiders with their starters out there, but a number of their players have pretty well played the entire ball game.
I think Werner for Kirchhoff's have been the only sub, isn't it?
Only, yes. Grant Young.
Sweep and go, beat him. Look out, Wally.
Grant makes a move on Wright.
Wise
Wallace.
decision.
Yeah.
Wise decision. You don't need that right now.
No, he hit a couple against Central, but yeah, again, it's just not a shot necessary at this point. There's a good look. That's where we want Wallace to get it, but before the shot, Kirchhoff commits the foul. No, actually, they call it a number 4. That's Ubelor.
That was a very good job of passing. Got the passing angle to make the entry pass. A lot of times we don't do that. Our angles isn't very good.
So right now for the Wildcats, it's just ball control. 13-point lead.
Get it back out.
Grant Young with a nice drive. Stops, off the glass and in. So an outstanding offensive set for the Cats there. Scored 4 in the quarter to make it 38, and there's a three-point shot that goes in and out for Kirchhoff, so Cats come up with another rebound. So Jasper with a 15-point lead, 4:54 on the clock. Gonna have to make Southridge earn it defensively.
That's right. All we need to do is we just need the clock to keep running. Pass the ball, move on offense, don't force anything, get it back out.
Good job by Wallace to see the opening. Patience in down there. Sometimes that's what it takes for the big men, isn't it?
It is. It is. And thank God, you don't see 3-second called very often anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen it all year this year.
Not many. 17-point lead for the Cats. 40-23 is Southridge. He's got to come up with some scores here to get back in this basketball game. Almost halfway through the quarter. Wright gives it up to Whitehead. Now he'll drive and ball gets knocked away, but they'll keep possession. So Noblett's coming in for Carter Mundi. 3:56 on the clock. Jasper 40, Southridge 23. Foul situation, 7 on the Wildcats, 5 on the Raiders. Play doesn't work for the Raiders and gets knocked away, so the Cats with it. They can work some more clock here if they have a good possession like they've had the last couple times. Gets the Cabrick on a baseline jumper, just can't get it to drop, so a good look for him. 3:27 now. It's getting close to do or die time for the Raiders. A three-pointer here would be big, but it can't go for Whitehead, but they get the long rebound. Right. Kirchhoff will drive and feed and throws it away. So Southridge just really looking out of sorts. Again, the Wildcat defense, man-to-man all night tonight, has been really, really solid.
It has. They've been up in their man. They've been forcing them to do things that they're not comfortable doing. Very impressed with the way Jasper's played defense tonight.
So the Raiders have played 5 minutes of this quarter and have yet to score.
Get it out. There you go.
Grant Young, and picking his pocket there is Whitehead. So that's going to be a jump ball, and Southridge has possession.
See, in that situation, Grant's got to realize that, you know, where he's at on the floor, that there's guys going to be coming from every direction.
Yeah.
He's got to try to, if nothing else, jump up in the air so you can see somebody to pass it to. But you got to get rid of the ball.
Also be careful where you pick up your dribble, too.
Correct.
All right, so 2:30 on the clock now. Jasper looking to close this basketball game out. 17-point lead. Sweep and drive there, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds, and actually the Wildcats will have it. So again, another nice defensive stop there for the Cats. All right, so we got a substitution here. First time tonight seeing Caden Ernie get on the floor. So Grant Young's going to sit down. So 2:19 on the clock. Jasper with a 17-point lead.
This is big for Caden Ernie right here. You know, obviously the score and all that in this game doesn't really mean a lot, but
oh man, that could have been a foul, but
yeah. So my point is, you know, if later on in a close game, if Young gets in foul trouble, we've got to have somebody that can come in and take his place.
Right.
And this is kind of an audition for Ernie to see whether he can handle that.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that, again, when the Cats get to this particular point, you want nothing but ball control, and you have a better ball handler out there, too.
Yeah, and that's why he's got Foy getting ready to check in. He's not looking to score anymore on offense.
Yeah.
You know, he wants guys out there that can handle the basketball.
So Kirchhoff misses the free throw. It's their first miss of the second half. The Raiders still looking for their first points with 2:01 on the clock here in this fourth quarter. And he's over 2, so Southridge shut out. So Ernie brings it up.
Pass the ball. Pass the ball. Pass the ball. There you go. Pass it.
Just keep moving it.
That's right. If the faster you pass it, the harder it is for them to catch you. Get rid of it. Pass it.
So now but with it.
There you go. That's good. Very good job.
Game of keep away right now with
That's
a minute
all
28.
It is.
Yep.
That's all it is. They're double teaming, so somebody's open. If you keep your head up, you can see that guy.
All right, so now they give it to Gieser, and he drives, and he gets hammered, but he gets a shot up and in.
That's a good cut by Giesler to the basket. Now the two freshmen are getting ready to check in, Butel and Day. For Wally and Noblet.
So the Cats go to their bench here, and we'll see if Southridge starts to open things up for them as well.
So this is a little bit of the future of Jasper basketball here. You got two freshmen and 3 sophomores out there, I believe.
And so Gieser misses the free throw. And Southridge with wholesale changes as well. So the Jasper Wildcats with a 21-point lead, 44-23, minute 14 on the clock here. So the Cats on the floor with Max Butel. Number 33 is Caden Ernie.
Foy's 23.
Yep, Logan Day in the ball game.
Logan Day and Giesler.
I'll give you the Southridge players. Nykum, Werner. Feed down low. Number 21, that was Keaton Allen. Number 1's on the floor, that's Grayson Boosie. And 24 for the Raiders is Gabe Baglin. So the Cats, but again, even with the JV team, they do this a lot whenever they get leads as well, so they know the drill.
Yeah, I mean, you got 4 JV players out there. The only one that Giesler's the only one that isn't, and he was early in the year. But yeah, you're exactly right. These guys know in JV games they're doing this exact same thing, and they're basically playing against Southridge's JVs too,
right,
so to speak.
Yeah, actually, the Wildcats won the JV game tonight, so just looking to close it out, and we will with 7 seconds to go. We'll just back it up. Jace Foy will dribble the last few ticks out, and Jasper with a nice 44-23 win over the Southridge Raiders. So, again, not as festive as we normally like to see a Jasper-Southridge game. Again, playing it on a Tuesday night, and it's been rescheduled twice. But still, Wildcats beating the Raiders is a big win.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to your point, I think Southridge's girls played at DuBois tonight. So, that took some fans away. I think Jasper has middle school games. So there was a lot going on. But, bottom line is it doesn't matter fan-wise. It matters what happens on the court,
right.
And I was impressed with the way Jasper got after it on defense tonight.
There's no doubt.
That was one of my keys, defensive pressure, and I really thought that we did an outstanding job of that tonight. You hold a good Southridge team. I mean, they're 6-5. And you held them to 23 points. They didn't score a point in the fourth quarter.
I know.
If I got that right.
You're exactly right.
So, that says a lot. Hopefully this is a learning tool for our kids that says, hey, we can play defense like this.
Absolutely.
If we're not lazy and we don't want to take the night off and we want to get after it, we can. And this is what the results can be if we do those type of things.
And bottom line with that is defense wins ball games.
There's no doubt. I mean, we only scored 44 points, which, in a lot of high school games, that's not going to win you the game.
Yeah.
But when you play defense the way we played tonight and hold the team to 23 or anything less than 44, obviously, is a great night. Right. So you're exactly right. Defense does win games, and it was evident tonight that, hopefully we can build on this, and we'll have a tough one Saturday night going over to Washington to play at the Hatchet House. That's always a dog fight. Washington isn't a rival. We're not in a conference with them anymore in the Big 8, but it's always a good game.
Right.
Anytime you get to play against a Gene Miller coach team, you're going to be in for a dog fight.
Yep.
So I think the coaching staff will, they'll enjoy this one tonight, and short turnaround again. You got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to practice and come be ready to go on Saturday. So I think they'll be pleased with it. I mean, when they come up to talk here after a while, I think that's the outcome that you'll get from them.
Oh, I don't think you're ever going to meet a coach in America who's not happy with the defensive effort.
No. I mean, when you can play defense the way we did tonight, hold the team to 23 points, win or lose, they're going to be pleased with it.
No question. All right, so good performance across the board for the Wildcats. And, again, that's the thing. When you have a defensive effort like that, it's a big-time team effort.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we talked coming in that they had the big three, I called them, Thule, Ubilar, and Whitehead. And I don't know how many points those three guys had, but, I mean, they only had 23 as a team.
Yeah.
And I know what was his name?
Kirkhoff.
He had probably
8.
So he was probably their leading scorer right at it.
Yep.
So I think from that standpoint, we did a good job of shutting those 3 down, and that's kind of what Coach Albrand told me before the game. He said if we can control and shut down their top 3 scorers, or who I mentioned, he said we'll do all right in this game.
Right.
And I think you could tell early on that was our mentality. That's why Kirkhoff got a couple shots, because we were worried about those other 3, knowing where they were at, trying to help with them if they needed help, and it kind of left Kirkhoff open a few times. And to his credit, he hit the shots.
He hit those 2 early threes.
And we made an adjustment. We didn't give him quite as good a looks after that. So he didn't have as an easy a shot.
Yeah.
So I think, from that standpoint, shutting those 3 guys down was a success tonight.
No doubt. All right, well, we'll take a break here. We'll give one of the coaches' perspective, but an outstanding effort tonight for the Wildcats to win this basketball game by 21 points, 44-23. So we'll take a break here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're back once again here. Jasper with a dominant performance, and especially on the defensive end, winning this basketball game 44-23. Jason Albrand, I know coaches love great defense, so tell me.
You know what it was? Effort was extremely, extremely good. And I thought, we've had our ups and downs offensively, but I think that's 4 straight opponents now we've held under 50 points.
Yeah.
Even our loss to Wrights, we held them to
46
or 8, and Vincennes was 45. And so, we've got to get better offensively. But I thought our effort, in the first half was as active we've been. We had a lot of deflections and tips and got balls knocked away and got loose balls, and it let us get out in transition a little bit. So I thought that set the tone. When you come out there and work hard on defense, offense seems to follow a lot of times. And so very proud of how we approached this game. We told them before the game, our last rivalry game, Vincennes, we didn't handle real well. They came out and wanted it more, and I thought our kids responded. And from the opening tip, and both teams played extremely hard.
Sure.
But, proud of how our guys, how hard they played tonight.
Yeah, according to Coach Gobert over there, he's saying that basically they only shot 15% on 2-point shots tonight.
They got a young team, but they've got 2 or 3 kids that can shoot it a little bit. I thought Grant Young was exceptional on Whitehead. Then he just stayed in front of him all night and didn't give him many looks, and the shots he took were tough and contested shots, and they did a good job on Monday. I think, for us to win by 20 points or so and have your leading scorer have, I think, 4.
Yep.
That's a good sign.
Just
And Carter did a good job of not forcing the issue. And,
yeah.
and it's one of those deals where if they're going to focus on him, other guys got to step up. And tonight that happened. And then so next game maybe a team tries to take away something else and your shots come. So I thought he was able to play a good floor game. I thought in the first half our turnovers really kept them in the game for a while. Obviously our emphasis was to get the ball inside, and I thought we tried to it's one of those as a coach. It's like teaching shot selection. It's tough, because what is a good shot for you may not be a good shot for me, or a good shot in the first quarter is different than a good shot in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And you don't want kids not to be aggressive. When you talk about shot selection, they hear don't shoot and they get passive, and then when they hear feed the post, by God, we're going to jam it in there. And Soppers did a nice job. They were helping from the opposite big and the opposite wing guy, and we didn't have very good vision on the backside help, and so. Hopefully, through watching some film and seeing that, we'll get better at that. But other than the turnovers in the first half, I thought we played a really, really good game.
Well, and you're talking about feeding the post and all that. Eventually, we got some good looks for Will Wallace and also for Griffin Hine.
We did, and sometimes those guys pass to each other, which is always good to see, big passing to big, and so – we didn't mention Carter didn't score a lot, but we had good balance. We had a lot of guys that scored.
We did.
I thought Nobby had, what did he end up with?
13.
A quiet 13. I thought he hit that first big shot. I thought that kind of, you can just feel the collective sigh of relief when we hit one in there. And I thought that got us going. And he had a couple buckets off his defense, and he was more active defensively. And he's just got to be more aggressive on both ends of the floor. He's got some tools. He's a good athlete. He's long. He can shoot it a little bit. We got to get him rebounding and passing and just playing a complete game, not just relying on hitting some 3-point shots. And I thought he took a step forward in that tonight.
How'd you think Griffin did in his first start?
He did well. You know what? He's such a good kid, and it's almost like, you just wish he would just get he's so nice. You know, he's a great kid, but man, he's got such a big body. He's a strong, lovable, likable kid.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and he's got good hands and good feet for a big kid, and he works hard and he listens. And you know, he's another kid that when he was a freshman, he wasn't the go-to guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of last year really just kept working hard and had a hell of a year on the JV and opened some eyes. And I think he gained some confidence. He's one of those. If his first couple go down, all of a sudden he feels like he's, you know, he can put the ball in the hole. So we need him to keep staying aggressive and staying positive. And he's going to miss shots. He's got to learn how to play through a missed shot here and there. I mean, it's not quite like Zach Edey, but when he gets the ball, he's getting pushed and shoved, and he's off balance. And I thought the one charge tonight was kind of a, I don't know, call, but you know, we want to be aggressive. And so I thought he did a good job of handling starting, and I think his teammates were excited for him.
And then we get to that fourth quarter, obviously with a nice big lead there and one ball control. Tell us about how we run the offense at that point.
Well, they kind of went to look like a matchup or some sort of a zone there midway or early in the fourth quarter. And with a 12-point lead, we're not in a big hurry. And I thought our kids did a good job of not forcing the issue and taking quick shots that really weren't needed at that point.
Sure.
And then they kind of went into more of a trap, and we spread the floor. And that's another one of those things that's kind of tough because you're yelling at some point layups and free throws.
Yeah.
You know, with about 3.5 to go, and you're up 16, you're in control. You got the ball. We want to shoot really high percentage shots,
right,
or get to the foul line. And sometimes when you say that, and then they quit cutting hard because now I can't shoot. But I thought we did a pretty good job of cutting and moving the ball, and ended up got some easy buckets around the in the inside there. So, but you know, you want to space the floor. They started, like I said, trapping a little bit, and so, you know, the more condensed you are, the easier you are to trap, and the less areas there are to flash.
Right.
You know, when teams start trapping, you want to bring it out to the 10-second line and say, "Come get us." Now we got to cover the whole half of the floor, which opens up cutting lanes, which are hard to defend when you're putting two guys on the ball. So we didn't panic. We stepped through some traps and found the open guy.
Well, it's nice to close out a game with no points given up in the fourth quarter.
Well, you mentioned a minute ago, but you know, as a coach, when you're up 16 with 3 to go, you want to win that game by 20 or 22.
Sure.
You don't want to hold on and win by 8 or 9 and let them kind of get momentum. I thought we did a good job of. When we didn't score in that fourth quarter, we kept the effort on the defensive end.
Sure.
You know, sometimes it's easy to relax when you're up 16 or 15 and there's 4 minutes to go, and you know. But I thought our guys did a good job of staying locked in on the defensive end. That's how we're going to win. You know, we're not. You got to know who you are. You know, and it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to have those honest conversations. But the people that can and the ones that understand it, those are the teams that win because you know who you are. We're not going to win shootouts. We're not going to beat teams in the 80s. We're just not. But that's okay. But if we can defend like that and take care of the ball and move the ball and play inside out, we got our chances to beat anybody really on our schedule.
Well, we get a little bit of a break here.
Yeah, we haven't had one.
Friday
It'll be
night
nice
game.
to, you know, that's another thing. We haven't really got a chance to, you know, we kind of changed our offense a little bit heading into the Vincennes game. I don't know if you guys noticed, we kind of went more of a, it's called a wheel, but kind of trying to get more room for the guy inside to operate and clear the backside a little bit versus having post on both blocks.
Yeah.
And so we haven't, you know, we played Friday, we played Saturday, can't practice Sunday. Yesterday we have a game today. We went through 5-on-0, so we really haven't, but I thought our kids have picked it up pretty good, and hopefully we'll just continue to evolve and be able then to, once you get that idea, then we can start adding wrinkles and twists. And, okay, now this time they think they're going to do this. Now we got a second action to come to counter what they're doing. So it'll be nice to practice the next couple of days. Off Friday night's nice. And then we go to the Hatchet House on Saturday. So another team that's, you know, very similar to Southridge. They're going to play hard. They cut well. They move well offensive. They're going to defend you. They're going to be well coached. They're, you know, it's a very similar opponent. So hopefully we'll get our legs back a little bit and kind of fine-tune this offense and keep taking steps forward.
Yeah, it just seems like since December 30th, that game against Central, we've almost played a full
you're
season.
Right. I mean,
so many games
we
in
had
a short
Tuesday
period.
game against Rides, followed by a Friday, Saturday, followed by a trying to lose track here. But, yeah, we have had quite a few games where, you know, it's hard to practice when you go Friday, Saturday, then Monday, then you got a game Tuesday, and then Wednesday.
Right.
You know, so it's nice that we don't have to play this Friday. It'll give us an extra day to get some work in.
All right, well, enjoy the break, but still, like you said, get some work in,
We
work on
will.
some things, get some people cleaned up and all that, and be ready to go Saturday.
Appreciate it, Craig.
All right. Great win tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so the Jasper Wildcats in a big rivalry county matchup against the Southridge Raiders pull this one off 44-23. Quick look at the scoring for the Raiders. All 5 starters scored, and Kirchhoff led them with 8, 2 points for Noah Wright. Mick Ubler had 6, 5 for Tooley, and Tate Whitehead with 2. The Wildcats were led by Andrew Nobwitz, 13, Griffin Howell with 8, Gieser off the bench with 6, Will Wallace had 8, Grant Young 5, and Carter Moondy 4. So the Wildcats now have improved to a 6-5 record, and Southridge evens up at 6-6, and the Wildcats will be on the road Saturday night at Washington, and the Raiders actually their next game January 13th out at Mount Vernon. So for Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the video, the Wildcats win it tonight over the Southridge Raiders 44-23 here on 18 WJTS. Good night.